Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, July 23rd, 4:32 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to you from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state still in an uptrend since those subsequent follow-through days. And if we look trend gauge over here on the right side of the screen, market leaders in grow mode continue to act well. Short term, we are above the 21 EMA and set some records here. As of today's close, 62 days above the 21 EMA. And this is the longest streak since the 2000 dot-com bubble. Previous record lasted for 77 straight sessions and ended in February 1999. And during this current streak for the NASDAQ 100, it's up 23%. And in comparison, the index gained over 50% during the 1999 record stretch. Um, so setting some records there, and that's why we always say if you're in a strong uptrend, don't be a hero to try to time the top. You sell in strength, and then you always trail with a moving average, and you never know how high something can go. Medium term, still above the 50-day moving average, still hovering slightly under 5% extended. So keeping that yellow caution, and then long term above the 200-day moving average, full bullish alignment of the moving averages. Alrighty, what happened today? Well, another new high for the S&P 500. Breadth was exceptional today with RSP, IWM, and then big tech ER earnings on DAX. ServiceNow reported, Tesla and Google. We'll take a look at those when I get into the charts. 21 over 21 list was up 2.13% on the day, 17 green, 4 red. And GEV was the highlight today. Closed the day up 15% on earnings. This is a holding in both GROTECTION and TurboTaxion. Turbo 12 up 1.77% on the day, 9 green, 1 neutral, 2 red. SYM was the leader, up 10%. 60/40 stock and bond up 0.57% on the day. Flagship portfolio GROTECTION up 1.15% on the day, and TurboTaxion up 0.79% on the day. Sorry. Those are our final numbers. Let's get into the interasset correlation. And we'll start with chart S&P 500. And again, new all-time highs isn't bearish. And we talked about that 10, 11-day consolidation last week. And consolidations typically resolve in the direction of the trend. And we're seeing that to the upside today. So again, no reason to be bearish here. Chart continues to look good. So today's close were 4.8% above the 200-day or above the 50-day moving average. So again, a little bit extended, but just trending higher. And the ATR, the S&P 500, has dropped all the way down to 0.74%. And that's why we're just seeing, clean intraday trend here, not tight ranges and just trending up to the right side. RSP really knocking on the door of new all-time highs, and this is breaking out of a 3 weeks tight pattern here. Good action, good for the breath. QQQ, a little bit of relative weakness per se today with some of the big techs down, but again, looks good, continuing higher. Mag 7 continuing higher. Dow Jones Industrial Average, really nice wedge pop here today, breaking out of this flag. Mid caps breaking out of this flag as well through 3,200. Russ 2000 breaking out of this cup and handle pivot here, and positioning on the Russ 2000 remains very negatives. Record short positions on it right now. Art, Kathy Wood, good gauge for risk on, risk off, and growth continuing higher, holding up at the highs. FFTY looks like it may want to make a run for this previous high, 34.26. VIX 15 handle on this one and continues to melt lower. You don't do technical analysis on the VIX, but say it's kind of breaking lower out of this range. And level by level, this could take a trip into that 14 level, see what it does there. And then, the VIX can get down to 10, 12, but for now, staying below 16 is a good sign. The dollar looks like it may roll over to new lows here, rejected the 50-day moving average and rolling back over, continues to be weak. Gold tried to break out and just coming back in today again, really nice base. Moving average is very coiled. GDX again just pausing at the highs here today. Silver continuing higher with the tight day. Bitcoin flagging here at the highs, looks good. Just resting after breaking out of this base, and for now, totally normal breakout action. Bonds, not a whole lot to say, just in a range. TLT, same thing there. And then rates, see if they make a move, either, break out or break down to be determined. Um, and then TNX as well, bounce right off that 200 day. All right, that's the interest correlation. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape and let's see. Percent of stocks above the 5-day moving average, that's getting a little stretched up to 79. So that's something to be aware of. On the news front today, Trump announced via Truth Social that a 15% tariff on Japanese imports will go into effect August 1st, which is notably lower than the 25% threatened rate. Additionally, Japan will invest 550 billion into the US economy. And then US and EU close on 15% tariff deal, and then just some of the big earnings that we've been watching. That was the notable news items today. Keys, all green arrow, S&P above the 8, all-time high, Qs above the 8 EMA, and Russell 2000 above the 8 EMA in that 2276 level. Going into Thursday, going to be watching the same stuff. Breakout day, 4. 22 days above the 8 EMA and a whopping 62 days above the 21 EMA in action today. Just trend up day, new all-time high. Little, back and forth action intraday, but closing really good on the day. Sectors wise, oil services, I believe it was Baker Hughes had a huge day on earnings. Airlines continue to be strong, right? The travel names act great. You got Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Delta's holding up after that earnings gap well. Healthcare getting XLV getting a little bit dead cat bounce. Home builders hanging up strong after that expansion day yesterday. Hack, uranium, biotech, and industrials. On weakness, gold, silver, Bitcoin pulling back a little bit. GROTECTION today sold crowd and did an offensive trim on GEV. 1.33 beta, 6.14% open heat. TurboTaction added on to the SSK position, 2.01 beta, 5.10% open heat. Bottom line, new all-time high for the S&P 500. Breadth is strong and big tech earnings on deck. All right, let's get into the charts of interest. Chart trades, GROTECTION start. Just got stopped out of crowd, broke the 50-day moving average, no fall through off that bounce. And then GROTECTION did an offensive trim in GEV. And again, this has been a monster for both portfolios. Just unbelievable strength. And this is a case in that if you have a responsible position size and you have good cushion going into earnings, if you calculate your risk and know, you can get these 15% gap. And yeah, G Vernova was a little bit extended into the print, but again, no predictions. You never know. It's been really strong. Tons of good news flow and, continuing higher here up another 15%. And, definitely the leader in the energy alternative space. All right, that was it for Grow. And then TurboTaction added on to SSK. This is the Solana ETF. This looks a little bit more messy, but Solana broke out of a big base and pulled back into the top of the pivot today. So uses this as an opportunity to add on to the position. Alrighty, that is trades for the day. Let's take a look at 21 over 21 list. GV, right? Great action here. CRDO, nice bounce off the 21 today. This one's clear leader, getting bought up. VST, nice action here. Tried to break out through 200, just close right above. Again, these utility names have been great. AVAV, nice upside reversal off the 8 today, and this is flagging pretty nice. Palantir, again, super strong, trying to break out into new highs. Textbook bounce off the 21. SoFi, nice bounce off the 21, falling through. PWR, nice bounce off the 21, falling through. And you're going to see that theme as I go through the charts is some shakes and then just immediately met with buyers and recovering the following day is good to see. NVIDIA undercut and reclaim of the EMAs up about 1% after hours as well on the Google CapEx. Irene, nice close today up 2% and getting just looks this was a nasty wick, came back in, but found support off the 8 again today and see if this one wants to break out. Again, circle sitting right at the 21, must hold spot in that 200 psychological level. MP starting to break out of this flag here. This stock has been extremely strong. CCJ continuing higher. DraftKings forming a nice little pivot right here. Delta flagging off the 200 at this earnings gap. DoorDash getting tight on the 21, got a pretty clean downtrend line right there. Robinhood, just 3-day pullback, might need to just base out here a little bit. Reddit trying to get back through 50, got 150, got rejected. Bitcoin, really nice flag here. GDX inside day, Coinbase 3-day pullback, but again letting that 21 catch up and watching this 380 level, this breakout zone right here. Monthly looks good. See if this can get a monthly close above that 2021 IPO high. And then FCX sitting right at the 21 day. Turbo 12, SYM. And again, another example is these two-day shakes in the 21. Sometimes a lot of people get fearful and then it just gets bought up with vengeance right back up. SYM up 10% on the day. LEU, again, 2-day pullback back up 6.5% on the day. Cato, same thing, up another 6% on the day. ASTS, another one, big shake, big wick, and then back up 3% on the day. MIR looking to potentially break out through this 22-21 pivot. Herein flagging here very nicely. TSSI getting bought up after fund support at the 10-week moving average. You can see right there, first bounce of the 10-week moving average after a strong run, and this one continues to look good. VIK, another travel name holding up the highs quite nicely. AS breaking the 21, sitting right at the 50-day for now. AAOI sitting right at the 21. OOS coming into the 21, and then Sedge coming back into the 8 as well. Huge short flow on Sedge as well. All right, let's see. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Tesla is flat as of now on earnings. So haven't looked into the report, but again, flat, so that's not too bad. And then Google's up 1.83% after the bell at 194, so that's pretty good action across the earnings front. And let's see what else. Take a look at some of the big 8 as well. Covered Nvidia. Meta's looking pretty good here, flagging. Amazon again trending up the right side, looking constructive. Tesla again, this monthly is huge. And if maybe this starts to run tomorrow, but again, any sort of positive catalyst on Tesla could be the fuel it needs to breaking. But you can really see this is the character of the stock, huge multi-year monthly basis, and this one just needs a spark, a catalyst, some volume. And if this can get going, Tesla could be getting back into gear. And then Microsoft bounced off the 21 again today. So Apple as well, getting tight here. Google, and then Netflix is showing relative weakness, breaking the 50-day as well. And Spotify is another one that's been showing relative weakness, breaking the 50-day as well, and making lower highs. But all in all, the market continues to act pretty good. You can't be bearish when the S&P 500's making new highs. We're just now getting into the earnings season, and so far, first holding for both portfolios up 15% on the day. That's a good start going into earnings season. But again, tends to be always some opportunities in earnings, so we'll be watching that closely. Then again, just managing current positions, looking. Oh, I will bring up actually one thing. Turbo, we took position in yen the other day, and this one potential, looking at the K-Web monthly, this has got a huge weekly, monthly stage 1 base starting to break out, and another name is Baba, looks pretty good, big stage 1 base, and then the leader is Futu that had a huge breakout from this base, and so some of the China is starting to show some life, looking pretty good. That's where we took yen. That's an area that worth a watch if it sees some rotation, but growth leaders continue to act well, and it's about finding low risk entries, trimming in strength, raising stops, and seeing how high they can go. So that is everything I got for today. As always, love to hear from you. You can reach out to me at connor@revereasset.com or reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. If you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. That is going to wrap it. Hope you guys enjoyed and have a good evening.